So we're gonna go into questions, and Alicia, you are gonna start us off, Miss Mama.
All right, let's get this thing going.
Get this thing going.
Okay, so question numero uno. How can someone as smooth as Chan balance being so evil? How do people maneuver that without getting caught? There's a word for that, and it's gonna come to me pretty soon. This is something he's been doing. This is him. Like, there are some people that I believe, could be wicked, and then they, have like the mad professor look, but most of the time they be like, sly little demons. And so he could be real smooth with it, blah, blah, blah. Like, he made a kind of a mini threat after getting off the phone with his dad and then finding out about this, attorney thing, and then went right back to, with Malia. Yeah, so I don't think that would be hard to maneuver. Now, being psychotic, if you're like a serial killer, that would be a weird little balance, because you would have urges to do things, and here's this woman in your house, and maybe she didn't give it up quick enough, or something crazy like that. Yeah, it wouldn't take much if you're a serial killer or whatever. But he has to. He's like, I don't want to say king, but he's in charge of like all the triads, and you could be evil and smooth. That's how I'm gonna put it.
How can he balance being so evil with being smooth? Like, how does he not get caught? I think it's just like a part of his personality at this point. And I think that, like, we watch movies and it's like the super villain, they're evil all the time. Nobody evil wakes up all day long, I'm planning destruction. Like, it's not an all day affair. Like, in real life people who have problems or do evil things, they still have family. Like, if you look at Pablo Escobar or John Gotti. But yeah, like, if you look at people who are involved in organized crime, a lot of these people have families, and so they can be amazing fathers, but also be very, very lethal. So I think it's just a part of their personality. It's almost like we talk about wearing different hats. So it's like, okay, I'm in my mom hat right now. Okay, my husband needs blah, 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 blah. So I'm in my wife mode right now. Okay, I'm with my girls right now. So I'm in girl mode right now. I think it's just parts of his personality that come out on demand when it needs to. Because again, I don't think people are evil all day. It's not like in the cartoons we used to watch where the supervillain was always, just night and day planning to take over the world and hurt people. I think in real life, the reason why people are so dangerous is because they have learned how to balance. They've learned how to put on the mask and be this at the PTO meetings, and then go back and hurt people. It's like, what in the hell? Like, what's going on here? People know how to do it. So I think that's why he's been able to maneuver without getting caught. I just think he's fluid in his personalities, and he knows how to put something back on the shelf. It's almost like we talk about like code switching, right? Like, you have your customer service voice. I have a great customer service voice, and I'm just very prim and very proper. But what I get with my ladies is like, listen, man, we about to have some fun. So I'm not worried about overly enunciating all of my words. But when I'm in a business professional setting, and that's what it calls for me to be as a professional, I have to show up on my A game. I can't be in there, acting like I'm that girl from the East Side. She's in there, and we'll come out if somebody at the meeting provokes it.
Okay. Praise God.
This part, you have to be like professional. So I think that Chan knows time and place.
Like how I have to stay on my healed journey and suppress the thug a lot,
Yeah.
And I'm doing great, by the way.
I think you're doing amazing.
Thank you.
I think we all have a little inner thug that needs to be suppressed, but
girl, we have really calmed down since the East Side days, running around. Girl, you got your knife? Just to walk up the street.
But to live on the East Side at that time required that. It wasn't, anybody would try to give it to you, whether it was the homeless people, whether it was a dog, whether it was some hating chicks, whether it was a guy who didn't like the fact that you didn't give him his phone number. There was multiple elements that constantly had you on high alert that you could go somewhere and just get attacked. I was at Baskin and Robbins, somebody trying to get it cracking with me. Like, even though you chicks, and y'all want to get it rocking in Baskin and Robbins. It was a really hot day, and I decided, hey, I want to be cute today. And I wasn't like I was wearing pants, because at the time I struggled wearing shorts. I don't now, but back then I was like, and my thighs are all out, and I don't know, it's too much skin. But anyway, I still looked nice that day. And they look like, I'm trying to be nice about it, but
No.
they look like some sweaty pigs. Their clothes were very dirty. They had a bunch of little kids with them, and they just looked like they was hurting, in life in general. And I came in and I looked nice, and of course I had some guy I was with who liked me and he wanted to buy me ice cream, and baby, I was going okay. And
Hey.
they were just looking at me like, he's paying for the ice cream? Absolutely. Why the freak would he not? Why would he not? We talking. We getting to know each other. Why would he not be paying for the ice cream? So they started, oh, and she's got him paying for stuff. And they was like really upset about it and started talking loud. And like one of them kind of like got in my face a little bit. And he was looking like, do you know them? No, it's an East Side thing. People just want to get it cracking with you. And so yes, living on the East Side meant sometimes you have to carry around weapons and knives and be ready to go at all times. And it took me years to finally get out of that. But at the same time, I guess I haven't gotten out of that. I'm one of those people that I like put things in various places in my house because I've watched enough Lifetime movies that I'm like, okay, well, if they come in and I'm here, got a weapon up underneath that, right? If you come in here, we got a little bit, bow. So I'm always thinking ahead. Even I'm not wanting nobody to come into my home uninvited. But if it happens, oh, she's fighting for her life and gonna take somebody else's, okay?
Life, you better pray I don't get a hold of the pew pew.
Pew pew.
Let me shut up for.
And listen, it's self-defense. Ain't nobody going out here hurting people.
Yes.
But as ladies, particularly ladies, we have to be safe. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens and it's scary. I saw a video that scared me about this woman. I think she lived in the Bronx or something. And she just locked her door. And I'm talking about like 2 or 3 seconds later, somebody was at the door and he realized the door was locked. He was on her heels and she didn't know it. And baby, he was boom, 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 beating on the door. He was doing a lot. So, and it was all caught on camera. And he had been stalking her, but she didn't know it. So, but yeah, thank God that the door was locked immediately because he like rolled up 2 seconds later and he tried to tear that door down.
Oh my God.
So,
did they ever catch him?
I think so because he didn't even have his face covered, so like he was mentally not there. But yeah, girl, he was one of our people, and I was like, "What are we doing, sir?
Yeah.
What are we doing?" Okay, I'll go to the next question. It says, "Would you have taken a bath in front of the window and done the do like Tan and Malia?" The sex scene was hot. Why or why not? Yeah, I'm a freak. I would have definitely did it in front of the window. Like Tan lives in a penthouse suite. He's up high anyway, so. Why not? Like, I don't care. Maybe I'm just a little on the freaky side.
No.
We would have put on a show in front of that window.
He's in a high rise, and yeah, it'd be weird for him to have curtains or blinds. It'd be like, over those big ass windows. I'd be like, that's a little off. But no, the whole city gonna see that. Now, the weird thing about that, now because he's in, a high rise and stuff, but I'm like, I was chuckling because I'm like, it's not like he's in a ground floor apartment.
Yeah, if you're a ground floor, that
goes all the way up.
That's something else. Girl.
That is so wild.
That is wild. That's different. If it's ground level or second floor, and you putting on a whole show, that's a problem. But a penthouse and we're up high, yeah, we're gonna put on a show.
I want people to be
like, I just couldn't imagine being upstairs in my bathroom. Just like, you go get this work, y'all gonna catch a glimpse. No, you're not.
Yeah, but in that situation, especially with him, Malia has Chan, so in my mind I have Russell. So if we were like in a sky, like I said, the whole city couldn't really look, but just the whole, I don't know. I get it though. When you're
looking down on them, but they can't really look and see.
Something hot about that. Like,
like,
we shouldn't be doing this, but we should. Like,
I love that.
Yes,
but baby, we gonna do it. Yeah,
do this, and we
Mom don't watch this.
What? How would you not? Like,
raise.
You either not do it, or you'd have to like leave the bathroom altogether. So that just ruins the mood. So it's like,
it really does. It really takes away from the specialness of what we're trying to do here.
It would.
It would.
I'm picturing it in my head. We don't need the curtains or blinds.
We don't. Flying. We don't need nothing.
Because I want to look up at this the clouds. I want to look at
my window. I have my hand on the window like this, honey.
You would, Karina. You would. You'd be all up on that glass, like. Now I'm thinking like we're off in the tub somewhere doing some mess. Dog, Karina would. She's like, no, we getting out this tub because everybody need to see this.
Like, okay, I have a problem.
No, it is not a problem. That's good to have a good sexual appetite. We're grown. You know, we were shamed for it for like what? Even in our 20s after we got married.
Oh, even your mom was still trying to shame us for stuff. Women in our 30s, like, ma'am.
Right. Like I know what our last three, well, you have 3, I have 4, but my last 3 pregnancies kind of aligned with hers. Our kids are around the same age. Yeah. And so my mom had a lot to say about and y'all got y'all legs in the air, y'all keep giving up baby. But and I'm like, we're with our husbands, ma'am, and it's still an issue.
Right. It's still an issue.
We were shamed about sex for so long. Which
like she had 4 kids and my mom had 5. So like, what were y'all doing?
I was just about to say, I'm like, y'all had y'all legs up in the air.
You had your legs open, baby.
I got the most kids that be talking. Sex is just, I can't believe it. And it's like, no, you can believe it.
Got your legs, and your mama got your legs in there. Why are they obsessed with that? You got your legs up in the air.
I'm like,
you would not, would you?
You sure would. I'm like, hold on. You telling me something? Like, ma'am. But yes, we were shamed about it. So it's like, I love that we are grown women and can actually talk about it. And that would be hot though. So no, you don't have a problem. There's nothing wrong with you. You are a little on the freaky side, I will say that. But
a little bit, like a little.
At least you're beautiful. You know how bad that'd be if you were ugly? And let me stop. Jesus be a fence. That's not right.
Otherwise, they be really, really freaky. They like, we have to make up for a lack of other areas. So we're gonna be ultra with it.
They be like, wait a minute. I gotta put in some extra work here to keep this.
A little extra work and a little extra time.
Oh my God! Praise God. Okay.
Ain't never a dull moment with my cousin Lily.
Never.
I think we answered that question.
Yep, I think we did. So the answer, general consensus, absolutely, unless you live on the ground floor. Now, if you live on the ground
floor, and if you live on the ground floor, it's different.
We can't do that. That's just weird.
But honey, we up high. We're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it.
What the comments gonna say about that? You hoes can't make up your mind. Yeah.
Whatever. You just mad because you ain't gonna be there. Just be honest.
I know that's right.
You mad. I see you mad.
You mad. You big mad. All right. So for the next question, how important do you think it is to understand the love language of your partner? Chan seems very in tune with Malia's needs. Is he in tune because of intuition or because he is stalking her? Now, you know what? Stalking. He has been watching this woman's every move since he's been infatuated. Yeah, so he knows, he's heard the had the phones tapped too. So he knows the conversations and just how, me and Karina get on here and we're like, yeah, girl, because we grown and put the legs up in the air and we're going to be up against the window. You have them conversations with your homegirls. Now, if you don't,
you really do.
Your friends.
Okay.
Girls talk. TLC had a talk, but the message was there. And we do. So with him having her phones tapped, him watching her every move, even stuff that she spent money on. So he knows all that.
Right.
And I know but obviously, I don't think it's intuition. Obviously, he knows how to be with a woman. He's been with women. He knows what he's capable of. He gonna tell you, hey, you ready? Because he knew he was about to tear that stuff up. He know what he do.
That's down.
Girl, when he tore it up, that's why she woke up talking about, well, wait, you gotta be gentle because I'm sore. He knew what he was gonna do, and he knows what he does and what he's capable of. And so yeah, with him stalking, watching her in the shower, hearing the phone calls, purchases, everything, it gives him a little bit of insight in as to what she's into. So definitely stalking. I don't think it's no intuition.
Stalking.
No.
Stalking, baby.
He knows too much. Down to her favorite tea.
Down to the favorite tea,
Yeah.
It reminds me of something that I saw Nick Cannon. There was a clip last week of Nick Cannon, and he was saying, I know how to be what a woman wants. I know how to be spiritual. I know how to be a leader. I know how to be masculine. He was saying, like, he knows how to be everything that a woman would want him to be to gain her. And I'm like, yeah. He doesn't know how to maintain it for one woman, though. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to pull out his bag of tricks. I can do this for you, and ta-da! And then it absolutely goes nowhere. So I think with Chan, was it intuition? Absolutely not. It's not intuition. This is what you do when you stalk people. And like, you don't have to be a physical stalker to just know like some of the things that women want. I think most women are pretty simple, pretty basic in what we want. We like flowers, we like candles, we like a good back rub, we like a nice bath, we like a nice meal. We want to be with you. We want to cuddle up, sit next to you. We don't even have to do a whole lot as long as we're together and it's a genuine, expression of our time and our energy, right? We're pretty simple. We're pretty basic. I think it's crazy when I see people online talking crazy about like something I saw yesterday. A woman went, and I guess she ordered steak on the first day, and some guy was like, that was too extravagant. She shouldn't have did it. And then another guy was like, who orders steak? That's not even a feminine dish. That's a masculine trait. And I went and asked her out. We have made steak into a masculine meal. Somebody said, well, order lobster. I was like, oh my God. Go where you can afford, sir. Okay.
Yes.
About that. So whatever they order on the menu, like, is there a budget? We got budgets. Anyway, but yeah, I don't think it was intuition. I think Chan is like a lot of people. He studies his prey. He knows what Malia wants. She's tapped, she's wired, she's bugged. He knows what she wants. He knows what she needs. I mean, like Alicia said, we get on the phone with our girls and we talk and we dream and I'd be like to just, oh, that'd be nice. And what I'm saying is that we talk, right? Women talk. And so he's listening. He's listening to what Malia wants. And he's been doing this for a long time now. This isn't like he's been listening for 2 weeks. He's been listening for a while.
Right.
It was after that the whole club opening and Frank getting a beat down. Like that was a long time ago. So it's been like a month. It's been 2 months, whatever it is. It's been some time lapse. It's been some time. Okay. So with that being said, he knows her. This isn't intuition. This is what happens when you do recon. This is what happens when you study people. This is what happens when you stalk people.
Right.
Chan is good at his job. So
the benefits of stalking.
The benefits. The benefits of stalking.
It's not a good thing.
Absolutely. The benefits. There's benefits here. All right. So the next question is mine. It says, Chan did everything in his power to keep Malia there with him. Do you think she should have spent the whole weekend with him? It felt like she didn't want to wear out her welcome. Yep, we talked about that earlier. What do you think? Do I think she should have spent the whole weekend with him? I mean, first off, I don't assume nothing. Right? I don't want to assume that you want me here for the whole weekend if this was only supposed to be for overnight, because I'd be really embarrassed if it's 2:30 and you sitting up on the couch with your arms crossed like.
So what you gonna do?
Some laundry? I'm never coming back. But I think, if he explicitly expressed, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of want you to like stay. Like, I know you're trying to get home, but like, maybe you stay the night again. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't think Malia was anticipating all of what happened to happen, because she didn't have her, in the words of Alicia, her spend a night bag. She didn't have her overnight bag with her. So I think she wanted to go home and just be in her own. Because I mean, like, for me, when I'm at home, I want to wrap my hair up. I want to put like a little bun or like my little silk wrap. I have like a cheetah print silk scarf.
That's right.
That's my go-to, in life. I walk around my house with my little silk scarf. I just love it. I feel like it's the African in me coming out. I'm getting connected to the
Has
culture.
to be sexy and glamorous with Miss Karina. Now I walk
What?
around. I said because everything needs to be sexy and glamorous for Miss Karina. So and she walk around and I'm just like, damn, bitch is doing it. No wonder her husband sprung. So you got it going on. Now me personally, you could catch me like in a big oversized t-shirt and a turban. That's how I walk around.
I get those big t-shirts too, so I like them.
I love them.
I always wear t-shirts. He's like, always wearing my stuff. So what? I ain't gonna change.
It's ours now. Talking about mine. It's ours. I like it.
It's ours. Yeah.
I have oversight. Now I do have a little. Karina turned me on to these pajama sets. They're like those tank tops with the.
Oh yeah, I did, right?
Now those are very comfortable and you could sleep in those. Girl, I gotta put you onto these nightgowns. They are cute and they could be sexy. I got one that's like, kind of.
I don't know if I want a nightgown. I don't want easy access. You just lift it.
You gonna make it work for it.
Because I always sleep in like shorts or like some kind of like night pants. So yeah, I'm definitely not gonna wake up and somebody lifted up my. It's like wait a minute. Without warning.
Did we gotta discuss?
That's why our grandparents had so many grandkids. People were just lifting up the dress.
Oh, girl, it's not like down to the floor, Little House on the Prairie, but they were getting it in those little old school.
Definitely working it out. Easy access.
No, these are little strap, but they're just so comfortable. They're like the same material as those short sets that you put.
Oh, okay.
And they're really form fit. They're cute. But now being that he was working so hard to keep her there, I wouldn't have been so anxious to leave, so to speak. Like I know I'm not wearing my welcome out when I'm trying to leave and come here.
Right.
I got this. So it's like, all right, let me see what he's talking about. Especially if I ain't got like nothing planned anyway, or I ain't got to be nowhere. You know what I mean? She owns her own business. So it's not like you better clock in by 10 or you going to lose your job. Like, so if she wanted to kick it with him, she would. So, yeah, he would have loved. He told her, he loves when they're together, and anytime they act apart, he's like, "Oh, I wish you could stay and be with me," and da 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 da. So, the whole weekend, it probably would have worked out. I don't even think Chan was prepared for like the whole weekend. Maybe that day, and possibly that that night, and then possibly that day. But then after, I don't think he'll be pushing her out the door. So I don't know. I don't think she was worried.
So embarrassed.
Right. Like,
oh, you leaving is 4:30. Oh my God. Okay.
Girl, or he's like, I guess they say when they ask you, so what you finna do? That's the
it's time for you to go.
Telling you to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he ain't asking you what you finna get into or what you finna do.
So do you have any plans today? You gonna talk to your grandma, your mom?
Right. Don't you gotta go feed your cat? Well, damn, yes, I do, sir. I do have to go feed.
Thanks for the reminder.
Thanks. And you'll never
again.
We both were like, so she could have spent. It would have been a cute little weekend,
it would have been a cute
up with something. Yeah, I mean, got for a date, so I'm sure if she was like, I'm gonna spend the weekend with you, I think he'd be down. He'd be like, oh, really? Okay. And then, make a few phone calls. And even if nothing magical happens, remember they were, I think, at her house and they were both doing their work, like on their computers next to each other. And they oh, this is perfect. Even if it's that, he ain't got to pull out the bells and whistles every night. But
exactly.
Yeah, I don't think she would have wore out her welcome. Not Malia. Anybody else, yes. But
he would have been shooing other people out the door for sure.
Yeah. So,
but not Malia.
Next question. Is mine. When Mr. Kong mentioned Malia, my heart sank. I could tell he was not pleased that Chan was seeing her. Chan mentioned also in the book that his father had never spoken of his girlfriends or anyone he was sleeping with. What do you think is the difference now? I think race may be playing a part. What are your thoughts? Absolutely. If he knows about the girlfriend without Chan telling him, Papa Kong most likely pulled a Chan and has been watching Chan. When these business
Well,
things
Chan on Chan.
okay, pulling a Chan on Chan. When the business deals weren't being closed and he was like kind of slipping at work, that's not like him. So maybe that's why he's never mentioned girlfriends or nothing before, because obviously Chan he was getting some or had a girlfriend or whatever he was doing, but he was still getting his job done. But now that he's messing up on business deals, it's like, yo, what you doing? And everybody's too scared to ask him, whatever, he's like, what's going on with Chan? Oh, no. So he probably had to watch him or had eyes on him, and they're like, yeah, kicking it with this black girl. It shouldn't play a part, but it does, especially with us. And I don't care. I know people gonna be like, quit pulling the race card, but no, we
stop doing it then.
Right.
We'll stop pulling the race card, and we have racism that persists in our society.
Right.
Okay.
And even amongst each other,
talk about that.
Yeah, that's always seems to play a small part. I really think for Mr. Kong, that's just like icing on the cake. Like, first off, how dare he not tell me about this relationship? Second, this relationship is affecting his job. And then, oh yeah, of course, it has to be an NIG too, So I think her
be one of them folks.
But he's like, hold on, this is somebody that's serious, obviously, because it's taking him away from what he does best, and he's always been able to place trust in his son to get stuff done, and he's kind of caught slipping a little bit. So I think that's why Mr. Kong actually found out about Malia, and I am kind of scared for Malia. Mr. Kong produced our smooth criminal, Chan. Mr. Kong,
he's got those tendencies too.
Yeah, and I'm like, if he feels like she's too much of a distraction, or if Chan actually stands up to him like, you know what, no, this is my woman, you're gonna have to accept it. Yeah, she could be, getting a mysterious car crash or something like that, and done with Malia.
That'll be the end of that.
That'd be the end of that. Papa be like, oh, okay. All right, I gave you a chance. I got you, though. I got you. And then we don't see our beloved Malia anymore.
Our beloved Malia goes bye-bye.
Right. So those are my thoughts on that. I could understand Chan's fear because he knows his father too. He knows what his dad.
You said it right.
So
you said it right. You said you understand Chan's fear because it's in his heart. It sank because he knew, okay, wait a minute. If my dad is digging around in this situation, then it's going to be a problem. He wouldn't be digging around unless he wanted more information to use against me and Malia later on. So yeah, I definitely could see like where he believed like this could be a problem. So yeah, I definitely understand why Chan's heart sank. I definitely understood why his father knowing about Malia could cause him to fear. He's who he is because who his dad is. Like his father has taught him everything, and we've gotten a really good glimpse of some of the things that Chan might do. We know he'll stalk somebody to death. We know he'll have you bugged and followed. We know he's got heavy hitters out here who are willing to do some heavy lifting. We saw what they did to Mike. His face was dunked, in a bowl, hopefully of curry soup, and so it could burn.
Red curry.
Like red curry, and he was beaten up. We've seen him do some things. We've seen him do something horrible to Frank when he had him, chained up at that warehouse getting all types of action. He got that work. So he's all of it. We're just like at the very beginning of what we know he can do. And he can do so much more that we haven't seen yet, right? And so he didn't just learn this out of thin air. He learned it from watching his father. His father has taught him all that he knows. So if he knows how to track people and stalk them and get into people's financial records, his dad knows how to do the same thing. So he knows that if his father feels like Malia is becoming a threat to his time, attention, or focus, she could just mysteriously come up missing, and it's like, I don't know. Why would I? What? I
That
mean,
was
why would you
the
trust
what
me?
black what girl? I'm like, how
What
you
are you
know she
talking about?
was
Yeah.
black? Mm-hmm.
So his father has never mentioned anybody before. Like you said, maybe he's always been really focused with Malia. He wants to spend more time with her. He is just all enamored, right? And his dad is seeing there's a difference. So I definitely feel like he's worried. Says, do you think race is playing a part? Yeah, I think race could also be playing a part in this because he's getting serious. It's not like it's a fling, not like somebody I just messed with. Like he's taking her out on his arm. He's like, I want the world to see us together. I want him to know that. Why you want him to know it? Like he said, I want y'all to know it. So I think that his dad's like, it feels very, very different. And if he is trying to get close to her, he hasn't even talked to me about it to get my approval. So what is this? Because it looks like Chan is going rogue. He was like, he's going rogue. And
Right.
so it's almost like in those movies where they have a robot and they have programmed the robot, and then at the very end, like the robot just like, I'm doing what I want to do. Or even in that episode of Game of Thrones toward the end where
Girl, I want
the
to see.
Hound, girl, you on season 5?
Yes, it is such
Girl,
an
you
it
played
is
through.
so different because I watched this when it first came out. So I had to
Mhm.
wait every week for the new episode
Yeah,
and then wait a couple months for the new season. So me
or
being
even a
able to knock
year.
these out, yeah, yeah, I said a couple months. It was
One season a
a
year.
year, and I'm
Yeah,
like, ooh, that new Game of Thrones, and it was something that I kept
yes.
up with. I think HBO would play it on, I can't remember, it was years ago. I think like a
Probably
Friday.
on like a Sunday night, yeah, or
Yeah,
something.
Sunday
Yeah,
night, something like that. And so it's so different and so awesome being able to just binge watch this as like
yeah.
oh my God, because it always every episode ends on a cliffhanger. And you're like,
Every
wait,
episode.
well, what's gonna happen next? And the fact that it just next episode, I love that little bar. Next episode. Or I think on HBO it's a circle. Next episode. And then
Yes, yes.
girl, I love it. It's a whole new
Yes,
experience. And there is a lot of stuff that I forgot that, so it's like
yeah.
watching it for the first time again. Praise
Game
God.
of Thrones is
And I am
lit. Like they got my heart. Ugh,
yes. And it took you forever because I've been trying to
it
put you
did.
on. You like,
She been trying to put me on Game of Thrones for a long time, and I just like I don't know. Even though I like that type of stuff, I was like,
I
people
love
said it was overhyped. Like I was given a lot of like stay away from it, whatever. But it was done right. Like they did everything right. I was just like my heart. Like, they wrote the way that I need them to write. Even though people was getting whacked and stuff, to me it made sense why some people couldn't proceed on with the journey based on what was happening next. Like them being there would have been that conflict. Okay. So I was like, yeah, that was a smart move getting rid of that person because these things could not have happened if that person was still there. So it all made sense. But I think that when you're watching it week by week, or even like you're doing a season a year, it does be like, well, what the hell is that about? Because you can't see everything. But when you're just able to keep hitting that next button, it's like,
it.
oh, this all does make more sense. But yeah, I mean, having to wait a whole week to watch it again and then have to wait another season, a year, that would be torture. But I love me some Game of Thrones. They have a
That's,
very, very, very
that's
special
how
place
good it
in
is.
my heart. I think the way you feel about Harry Potter is how I'm feeling about Game of Thrones. Game of
I
Thrones is
love
everything.
all the magic,
Yes,
Middle
I
Earth
love it.
type stuff.
Yes.
I nerd out on that hard.
I see why. I was like freaking dragons and stuff, and then the walking army dead, and I was just like, and the giants was like, oh my god, this
Oh, I forgot about that. When I was like, damn, they got giants riding mammoths.
girl,
Girl,
them
so
having them
they blew
giant
that thing up, and that fire like kind of scared that mammoth off.
girl. When I saw the mammoth, I was like
I'm like,
so excited.
they're
I was
taking
like,
it back to the ice age. Like,
can't
yeah,
take anymore. I mean, Game of Thrones has everything. I was like, you guys have
everything,
zombies. You guys
everything.
have White Walkers. You guys You guys, I was just like, you guys have witches? You guys have a fire breathing dragon? I was like, you guys have a freaking woolly mammoth.
Dragon.
You guys have dragons, and you guys have these big freaking giants that are just as big as buildings. I was just like, this is everything I need wrapped into one, and all the other crazy drama too. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it, all of it. I am so here for it. But yeah, I think he knew. He knew his daddy was coming for him. And like I was saying, like with the whole your creation can turn against you, because at the very, very end, at the last season, there was the mount, and then there was the mountain, and they were brothers, and they had that big fight on the stairwell, and the mountain had basically gotten killed in like combat, but like that weird superstitious man, whatever, who's like on some Frankenstein energy,
Maester.
Girl,
yes,
he brought him back. I thought he was dead on the table, right? No, he had him over there, and he did a whole Frankenstein and put him together, and he was very obedient. But one day he just turned and he was like, "No, I'm not going to listen." And girl, the way he knocked that man's head into the wall, everything just like exploded. I was like, "Well, he's gone." So I'm feeling like with Chan. I'm feeling like Chan's dad is seeing the situation like, I've created something here that has always obeyed me and respected me. And now the thing that I've created is giving me a little attitude, or it's giving me some pushback. And I don't like that. So I definitely feel like Malia may be in danger.
Yes.